So we're up to chromatography.
Okay.
And I mean, unfortunately, it is just kind of busy work here. You just got to kind of go and look these up here. I put the remaining ones in the chat there. So if you can check those out. Uh,
All right. All right. I'll just right now research about chromatography.
all right.
All right. Here's one for chromatography.
Okay. You can probably yeah, I mean, it's good that you're giving this level of detail, but uh, don't overdo it. That's probably the most you'd want to include in any one of these answers.
Okay. Got it. All right, I roll one for evaporation.
Okay. In a traditional classroom, you might actually get to do some of these in a lab, but that is not the case uh,
For me.
for you. Maybe in college. A lot of students take chemistry in college and do this.
All right. Now time for threshing. All right, and here's the one for threshing.
Okay, very good. All right, so we can move on to question 3 now. Question 3 says, read each of the following descriptions, questions, identify each as an element, compound, heterogeneous mixture, homogeneous mixture. Explain the reason for each choice. Okay. Um, so let's just review. An element means that it's literally one element. Okay. And I think it's actually easier to go one by one. Like, is air on the periodic table?
No.
No. What about a stainless steel fork? Is that on the periodic table?
No.
No. But molten iron is. So this is an element.
All right.
Iron is on the periodic table. So maybe let's do it this way. I want you to write a sentence that says, um, you know, molten iron is an element, and it's an element because whatever makes up an element. Like you may want to go back to this definition right here.
All right.
Put that in the chat of like what an element is. These are all very, very basically you're repeating those for these answers, whatever we come up with. Um, is it clear what I'm asking you to do?
Yeah.
All right.
So I also searched up about if molten iron is an element, and it also mentions that that iron is a pure substance, and that makes it like a pure substance as well. Should I mention that?
I don't think that's necessary. I think we can just be very specific here. We can just say iron iron is an element, it's on the periodic table, it has the same number of atoms as everything else. I think what we're trying to learn here is like what is sufficient and somehow like trying to figure out, okay, there's always we know kind of what not enough is, but what is too much? And that's what I think you're sort of debating between is how much do you need? And you can keep it as simple as they always say this in the classrooms, you know, like right enough to answer the question. Well, you have to give all the pieces. You have to say what it is and why it's an element. And that's maybe two sentences, could be one.
Mm-hmm. Right. Here's what I wrote.
Okay. Maybe we can just be more specific. We can say because iron is on the periodic table. All right. So that's the only one that is an element. Okay. Um compound um let's go with homogeneous mixture.
Okay.
Okay, homogeneous mixture means like whatever it is, it's all the same. It's all the same.
Got
So
it.
is so air is not a homogeneous mixture. It includes carbon and oxygen and nitrogen and fluorine, other stuff. So it's not all one substance. What
Got
about
it.
a stainless steel fork?
And hold on. Is I know steel is an element, right? Or am I wrong? Checking the periodic table.
Steel is not an element.
Eh, Okay. I don't know what stainless steel would be then. Well, obviously it's an element, but I don't know if it's a heterogeneous mixture or
No,
homogeneous mixture.
most uh utensil sets are now stainless steel. Like you go to your kitchen, it used to be silver. Everybody had silver, like that was their fine china, as used to say. Um, but now now it's stainless steel. Now, when you look at a fork or a spoon, does it look the same all the way through?
Yeah,
It does. So that is a homogeneous mixture.
I see.
Okay, so again, what I would like you to do, just like we did up here, let me go grab the definition of a homogeneous mixture. And again, it could be a gas, a liquid, or a solid, but it's all the same proportions. So let me drop that in the chat. And I'd like you to write a sentence for why a stainless steel fork is a homogeneous mixture.
Okay. Does this work the way I wrote it out for the stainless steel fork?
Yeah, that's that's
Okay,
that's
good.
completely correct. Yeah. Now take a look at the rest of the list. Um, do you see anything else here that might be a homogeneous mixture?
Trail mix?
I'm sorry, you said what? Trail mix? No, a trail mix is a think of what's inside trail mix. Peanuts and uh,
Pretzels. I know pretzels are in trail mix.
yeah, chocolate. I mean, it's not the same throughout.
Oh, okay. Maybe distilled water?
Yes, that is definitely so. You can repeat what you wrote. You can try to modify.
All right, here's what I wrote for distilled water.
That's correct. That looks good. Right. So we're up to now. I think the next one to talk about would be a heterogeneous mixture. That's where there's a mixture of things that are like not the same proportions. You might have more of one than another. So trail mix is for sure a heterogeneous mixture. It's like I think you said pizza, and then you said chicken noodle soup yesterday, and it's not uniform throughout. That's the big difference there. So uh, the we'll need a sentence for that. But before we do that, what do you think about salt water? Is it heterogeneous or homogeneous? And you're welcome to use the internet to answer that.
All right.
I think it's a little tricky.
Oh, how convenient. The first thing that pops up. Oh, it's homogeneous, it says. Homogeneous.
And I think because of the word salt, you could think that it's maybe something else, but um,
I personally didn't know.
it's tough. I mean, you look at the water, it's water. So give me a sentence for trail mix and then for salt water, and then we'll go back up and talk about air.
Okay. So if salt water is, I'm gonna first wait for salt water. I was about to say something about trail mix. Okay, here's for salt water. Now I'll write about trail mix. Here's what I wrote for trail mix as well.
Right, very good. Okay. So air is kind of another tricky one, I would say. Because with like a typical like let's talk about what a compound actually would be. A compound would be something like uh sodium chloride. It would have like two elements in it. Does air have elements in it? Yeah, but is it really a compound? Is it is it a heterogeneous mixture or is it a homogeneous mixture? I think probably a quick check on the internet will help you decide the correct answer on that.
All right. Okay, so it says here that air is a homogeneous mixture.
Yeah.
Homogeneous?
Yeah, it because it's like it's a gas, it's mixed all together and uh, it's the same throughout. Um it's pretty general word, but you know, that's okay.
And let me just write something down. Okay, here's what I sent for air.
Good job. Okay. So looking good on these. All right. So uh I think that these will be pretty challenging for you to just try to think about the mixture, gas, liquid, liquid. Sorry, not the liquid. I think you can come up with that one pretty easily. Solid liquid, you can come up with pretty easily. Solid, I think you can also come up with. Um, Now let's talk about the easy ones. So a liquid mixing with a liquid.
A liquid mixing with a liquid. It like for
Yes.
example, I could say like water and juice, right? Because those two
Yes.
mix together. Yeah.
Plus orange juice.
I was gonna say cherry
Yeah.
because that's what I used to drink as a kid.
All right. Good cherry juice. Okay. Liquid also shouldn't be too difficult to come up with an example of.
Wouldn't ice and water work,
Uh, yes.
technically
We
speaking?
can go with that. Yeah. Okay, now solid might be a little bit more difficult. Um,
Solid. Okay.
I just
Like
got a notification my internet might be unstable, so I apologize if it dropped.
it's okay, don't worry.
So go out to the
Okay.
internet, maybe look for a mixture of a solid and images are always a good place to go.
Okay, it says here, there's no example, 1 second. It says sugar sand mixture and sand
There you
iron
go.
filling. What is
So have
sugar
you
sand?
ever baked you ever baked anything?
No.
Okay, well let's pretend like you have flour plus sugar.
Oh,
Okay. All right,
man.
so the gas and the gas liquid are gonna be a little bit tougher. Gases mixed with gases tend to be pretty harmful. Um, Gas with liquid, you actually might have even had this at like your local coffee house. Sometimes they do. They infuse the liquid with some gas, but go ahead and take a look on the internet. Maybe you can come up with some examples there.
Sure. It says someone, I'm just searching it up and I said, what is example of gas in a liquid? It says oxygen and water.
Right. There is. Um,
Yeah.
let's see if we can come up with maybe a more traditional gas and liquid. Um,
Ah, there we go. Fog and hairsprays.
maybe we could say, but we have to be more, we have to be careful here. I mean, we can't just say hairspray.
Yeah,
Um,
but we could use fog because fog
yeah, so
does.
fog's probably a better one. Water vapor in the atmosphere. Okay, and now
Yeah.
look up a gas mixture, please.
A gas mixture. Okay.
Yes.
It says perfume,
So
but
we want to be able to explain what the two things are that are mixing together. I mean, perfume is typically
oh,
a
it
liquid.
says air and perfume or helium and hydrogen.
These aren't all that common. Maybe look for a more common one.
Mhm. I can't find anything.
Take another minute to look for that. They tend to be kind of negative, so you might do a search on like deadly gases mixed together.
Hmm.
We can just go with air and perfume. That's fine. All right, so
Okay.
we're gonna skip first hour. For the next questions, if you want us to keep going through that, we will have to watch a video, or you'll have to watch enough to be able to answer it. So just keep that in mind. But we'll check back in about 10 minutes. I will see you shortly.
All right. See you in a little bit.